So we are here at week 3, and I want to talk about energy online versus energy when we're building our businesses out in the marketplace, like networking face to face. I always refer to the story of the person that sells vacuum cleaners. Okay, and I think somebody had told me that they do sell vacuum cleaners. They know how tough and rough that business is. If you ever want to see someone that works really hard in network marketing, direct sales, go watch somebody who sells vacuum cleaners door to door. That is a tough business. And I truly do know a lady who sells rainbow vacuum cleaners, and she is like brutal. I mean, she's knocking doors, cold market, and she starts literally after 5 o'clock when she gets off work. She doesn't get home till 9 at night. And she still builds that business and has been doing that for 15 years. And she works like a dog. And she works weekends. And she goes, knocks on doors of people she doesn't know. She gets screamed at, cussed at, doors slammed in her face. She goes and does demos and nobody buy. Happens. So thinking about that energy, okay, just think maybe if we're doing the face-to-face, going to coffee shops, meeting at the Paneras, going to events, trying to hunt down and have our own events, right? Just think if we were doing that. Oh, hey, Suzanne, are you with us?
I think so. Hang on.
I can hear you. So you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to finish telling my story and I'm going to call on you. We're recording because there's a lot of folks that aren't on tonight because the link messed up, obviously. So anyway.
Yeah, I have to put my ear real close to the phone because I couldn't get it to come up on my computer. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I think there's something flaky going on with Zoom, so I'm sorry about that too. And you might want to try earbuds. That might.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, that might work in this situation. Okay, so thinking about selling vacuum cleaners or just getting out there and networking, face to face, how much energy that would take. Because I've been there and done. And just think if you've ever done that, if you've been in the business, network marketing, and you've done one-on-ones, or you've met in a coffee shop. Hold on a second. Hey, Suzanne, can you mute real quick for me, sweetie? There we go. I think I muted. No,
there we go.
Mute. Can you mute yourself, Suzanne, for 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay. But think when you're meeting people, that energy and what it takes. And let's compare that to social media. Are we really truly putting the same amount of energy? Probably not, right? Probably not, because we get complacent, a little bit lazy, because we're not comparing the same energy. So thinking about that, we really need to manage our time and track what we're doing online, what we're putting out, what's working, what's not. Sarah, you and I were talking about setting an alarm. Set an alarm when you're on that news feed because you'll get very deep under it, and that is not serving. Okay, so I want to just go through a few things, and I may call on you, Suzanne and Sarah. You just unmute and talk, and then put yourself back because we are recording. But one of my biggest things for week 3 is how to connect. How do we connect with people, right? And thinking about that energy again, I'm going to keep going back to the story of the vacuum cleaners, okay? If you were selling vacuum cleaners going door to door, maybe it's warm market, maybe it's cold. How many people would buy a $2,000, $3,000 vacuum cleaner from you? Right? So it's numbers, right? So let's say it's 1 in 100. 100 door slams in your face. Are you willing to do that? That's what it takes here in this industry, of any sales of any kind, okay? So thinking about that, how are we connecting? Because it's about building relationships. For me personally, I don't like knocking doors cold market. I like people to come to me. Do y'all like that? It's a lot better. With that comes patience. Energy out, energy back. Lots of energy goes out, and you have to learn the art of patience. With patience, what that means is you may not get a bite. Nobody may say a word to you, but they're watching. So you and I have to stay consistent, putting that energy out, right? learning to connect with people. So in the moments of patience, we need to be celebrating people, thanking people, supporting people, being customers to other people with no intention that they're going to buy from us, right? Just being truly that seed of giving, that seed of connecting. And guess what? When they need what you got, who they going to come to? Yes. Because you were nice, you had a good intent, good heart, you were giving, and we reap what we sow. So then the next thing is the plan of action. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to create leads? How are we going to connect? How are we going to save time online? How are we going to put the same energy in if we were going door to door selling vacuum cleaners? We really should carve out time. So if you're going to work 5 to 6 on your business 1 hour after work, then you sit down and do that. And you've got to give it all you got. That might mean that you don't get a lead. You're putting energy out. You're not earning money yet, right? But think of the lady in vacuum cleaners doing a demo, 100 of them before one comes up. I always thank God I don't have to do that, right? I'm always grateful for my online business, and I can be patient and wait on seeds to harvest because I don't want to drag vacuum cleaners door to door. So we can always be grateful for what we have. The problem I see with people online is that they want something right now, and that just doesn't happen. This is a time. I say you got to give it a year to start seeing some of the harvest. You truly do. And hey, we may earn as we learn. You may get a bite. You may get a big sale. But that art of patience is crucial here. Then as we're connecting and we're out there online, we really need to be listening. And I know I said this in the videos for week 3. It's about listening to our audience. What do they need? Not what we need. That me monster always derails us, right? Because it's about me, me, me. Well, what if, how do I need to look a certain way, talk a certain way? Well, what if I don't do this? That's me monster talk. What we need to be talking about is how do we serve our audience? What do they need? How can I serve my audience today? How can I connect with my audience today, right? And then once we get the lead, we need to follow it all the way through, which is systems. And why I do highly recommend, my inner circle and my team of systems, because they work. So with that, I want to call on you real quick there. I know you've already done your takeaways, but if you do your top 3 this week, 3 things you learned off your notes that you're going to start applying now that you're real excited about. You want to unmute.
Okay. I think, so I think serve the news feed was my number one. That would be, so looking for people complaining and looking for someone who has a problem and being that solution to the problem, and taking it offline after that. So you want to build the relationship offline. And not necessarily, like you said, right away. Maybe wait a day, take note of that post, and then say, hey, I saw your post a few days ago, or, whatever that was. I, found something that works. Are you interested, or would you like more information, or, whatever it might be. Let me send you, tag you in some videos, add you to a group, or invite you to the group, and plug them into the system. So yeah, just take them offline, but plugging them into the system, and then doing all the pass and the plug. And then I think taking time to thank customers was really huge. That's not something I really thought about doing before. Maybe even sending them like a thank you card every month or every other month or something like that. But thanking them every time they place an order, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
Because they definitely don't have to keep ordering from you, and they, could always have ordered from someone else. So I think that's important, because that creates loyalty with your customers and a friendship as well. It's like also building the relationship. So I think those were my main 3: serve the news feed, take it offline, and thanking customers. So.
Yeah. And one thing I'll tell you what, I'm going to piggyback off you, and thank you for all these tips. One thing that I do around the holidays, because you know what, people could buy anything anywhere. And if they buy from me, I want to honor that loyalty. So over the holidays, my personal customers, now I have a team, and eventually you guys, if y'all don't already, you'll have a team. So I'm not talking about people 20 levels deep that I don't know. I'm talking about my personal customers, people who order from me, okay? I carve out, because I have maybe 150 customers that are personally tied to me. So I carve out around Christmas a little gift box, okay, with a little bit of product in it, probably about $20 worth of product. And I mail that product to them as a Christmas gift and thank you. And guess what? I usually throw in some product they don't use or don't know about. Because then guess what? They'll use it, taste it, and then they may buy it, right? So then that's also tax write-off. So it's like this gift for myself that I'll order a little more product so I can send my customers, thank them over Christmas, give them that gift, honor them for their loyalty. It's a win-win. Helps me keep a customer, they try new product, and it's a total investment for me and my business. Okay, another thing you talked about was serve versus surf the news feed. We want to serve people on the news feed versus surfing. This is really a muscle you have to work because I've been there. I'll be caught up in this scrolling. We all do. And then all of a sudden, like we're buried deep and we don't even know who we're looking at, right? So what I had to do, and it took 90 days. I was telling Sarah this before we started recording. It took 90 days of setting an alarm that when I go to the news feed, I had to set an alarm on my phone 15 minutes. When that thing beeps, boom, 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 you're out. You got to get off. And the first couple times you'll do it, you realize how addicted you are to the news feed. Okay, the first week's tough, but then it gets better and you're like, oh, I'm in and out. And after 90 days, you've developed a very good habit of in and out, and you got to get on it. We got to get there so we can see what's going on, stay in the know, but you learn mentally like what to look at, what not, and get in, get out. You will work that muscle where you get better at it, quicker at it, in and out of there. Okay? Another thing you talked about is looking for people complaining. This is huge. This is people, what they do before social media with Kebie. And myself included, before I scraped my knees on this. You see a friend on Facebook say, Sarah will use kind of for your product. My hair's falling out. I really need some hair growth. Does anybody know what to do? Well, it's easy for us all to go right in because you really want to help that person, right? We have intention to get in the product for that person because shampoos will help promote hair growth. You have something they need. You have a solution to a problem. You want to help them. But that will actually run on. Is that not what everybody's doing? They're like piranhas, barracudas, okay? They're just hitting them, right? They're inundating them. So what I recommend, write that person's name down because you should be tracking the stuff, right? Write it down and date when they posted. Less is best, and the longer you wait, the little better on this issue. I'd call the 3 to 5 day rule on it. So I would not for 3 to 5 days even reach out. Let it go by. Let the barracudas come out after them, right? And then you private message that person and say, hey, I seen a post. You were talking about hair loss. You've been on my mind. Because they have. You're not lying. You wrote them down, right? You truly been on my mind. I have a product that's helping with that. If you're open, I know you've probably been hit. If you're open, I'll be glad to give you a sample. See, when we give samples, that's true intent that we want to help them, right? So just some lessons learned. I used to go up under people and share my stuff and links. It don't work. If it did, we'd all be millionaires. But there's people turned off. They're tired of sold. That person that's talking online about hair loss, think of what they're going through because they're having hair loss. And then how do they feel when everybody attacked them with their websites? Did they feel like they really cared? Right? So we can share and sell our products in a tactful way and a professional way, and that's more professional. Now, a lot of times what will happen is they may have bought something that somebody hit them with. So at that point, I say, look, I want to put you on my follow-up list. If that product works, keep using it. I pray it works. If it doesn't, can I reach out in 30 days? I'd love to send you a sample of what I have in 30 days. Again, art and the law of patience. You put them on a 30-day follow-up. Probably the stuff they bought is not going to work because your product's going to work, right? I do it all day. Do this all day. In 30, 60 days, they done forgot about the post. They still have hair loss, still looking. But then you hit them in 30 days, they have a cleaner track of mind as well. So they're more apt to go through the system, get your sample, and order. Okay? Good stuff. All right, Suzanne, I'd love for you to share maybe your top 3 tips you learned this week and anything you might would apply in your business of what you learned. Go ahead.
I have sort of a spirit of encouragement. That's one of my spiritual gifts anyway. Style of doing things, and I like how you look for ways to encourage people, not with businesses or anything. You just look for ways to encourage them, and I like the website you use for the backgrounds and stuff that you told us about, and I like the 5 people. You look for 5 people with a problem and personal message them. So I like those items. And what she said, most of what she said as well, but those were my takeaways.
Okay. So what are some ways you feel like you're going to encourage people? And what were you talking about with, you're talking about Pixabay, the
right.
Yeah. Okay, good. Go ahead.
So I like the idea of being able to use the background just to send them something encouraging. And and picking 5 people to learn about them. And so you can send them some conversation, because I'm adding so many friends that you get out so far, you're not really quite sure who they are or what. So you kind of got to learn their personality a little bit. And I also have a question. You know, I have EDS and I have EDS. And can you talk to people in the EDS groups, or is it better just to watch for people in your regular newsfeed?
Okay, repeat that again, because you went kind of out.
I and my daughters have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So there are special support groups for that. And is it okay within a support group to try to reach out to people, or is it better to stay in the main newsfeed?
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm not saying it doesn't work. You just to measure that. What you'll want to do is when you're in groups with people that have something in common is build relationships. So instead of, talking about your products or talking about business, find out who they are, find out about them. Turn that cold lead into a warm lead. Then they become your Facebook friend. Then they see what you have.
Right. I've been that way. What I was trying.
Yes. And I think that's great. It's just networking in groups are great when you have that good intent that you're not like recruiting people and stuff. But this is a great way to find a cold friend and turn them into a warm friend, right?
And I like the online stuff better because I've done cold calls with Aflac before, so that doesn't work very well.
Yeah. So you've done like the vacuum cleaner thing with insurance.
For real, yes.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So the thing is, we can look back and be grateful that, hey, we get to work from home from our phone. We don't have to go door to door. We don't have to get cussed out. Somebody cusses us on Facebook, we can block them, right?
Yeah.
I like what you were talking about backgrounds and using Pixabay and pictures for encouragement and posts, which I have like a little sheet on tonight of some things you can post every day, because some people, they often ask me, what do I post each day? How can I encourage my audience? So that's a great tip that I'm gonna go through here soon. So I'm gonna finish up, and then everybody can, we'll have time for one question. If you have a question, you can ask me. I'll finish up and I'll come back. And thank you for sharing, Suzanne. Okay, so people are on for one reason. And guess what? It's attention. They're on social media for attention. You don't believe that? Just search through the news feed for 5 minutes. Especially people had training and coaching and the way they talk online, right? They're looking for attention. So this is a great problem because we can give our audience the attention they need. If we become genuinely interested in them, right? Instead of our product and me, become genuinely interested in our audience. Those seeds take root. Guess who they're going to buy from? So our number one job online is building relationships. People ask me all the time, what's the magic pill? What is it? Tell me what I need to know about social media. That's it. It's about building relationships. It's about when somebody comments, you thank them. You genuinely talk back to them. That's your fan. If it's one comment, you go crazy over it. Like, thank you so much for commenting, like genuinely caring. And then, like you said, Suzanne, if we just pick 5 people a day or just one person a day on our friend list to go love on them, hug on them, right? Just support them. They're going to come back. It'll come back around to us too. And so then real quick, just some tips on posting. I come up with like a little weekly theme to help me now I've worked the muscle and I kind of know what to post every day. But like on Sunday, let that be Selfie Sunday. And selfie could be you and something. So, if you start doing selfies and you're a little uncomfortable, start doing them with kids or animals or, your grandparents. Elderly is always great online. Do it with an object, a tree. Do it with the beach in the background. It doesn't matter. Just do a selfie. Take a selfie with you and something, okay? Monday, I like Motivation Monday. So you find something motivational, a picture, a quote, something, okay? As long as it's like from the pixabay.com, it's royalty free. It's not copyright. You don't ever want to use that stuff. But find a motivational post or picture and pop it up. Motivation Monday. Tuesday, Thankful Tuesday. What are you thankful for? Just go out and post a picture, a write-up, something on what you're thankful for. Wednesday is Wisdom Wednesday. So you share with your audience about something, a fact. It doesn't have to be about your product or business, just something out there, right? Thursday, I love throwback. And that kind of went away, but I like to bring it back, and I definitely did these themes. So I found some pictures from high school. I scanned them, took time to do it, put them on my desktop, and I didn't upload them all at once. I did one picture per Thursday. I had hundreds of them. So I had 100 Thursdays to post. And let me tell you, one picture can really create some conversation, especially if you had an old, your classroom, there were 20 of y'all and you were 8 years old and it's a throwback. I mean, you talk about everybody you went to school with when you were 8 years old and you tag them in the picture, that stirs conversation, okay? Throwback Thursday. Pull out those old pictures and post them. Friday, I like Fun Fact Friday. So what's a fun fact? This kind of ties into Wisdom Wednesday, but this is fun facts. So that means something interesting. Did you know? Wow. Did you know? Something like that, okay? And Saturday is Social Saturday. So that's anything social where you go out to eat, you go to the park. And look, you may not do it on Saturday. You may have went somewhere Wednesday. You save the picture and post it on Saturday for Social Saturday. Nobody needs to know you're not there at that moment, right? But be sure you also check yourself in locations because that generates conversation as well. Okay. All right. Any questions before we head out tonight?
I have one question.
Okay.
But eventually, I haven't really posted much about the product. I don't know how to do teasers, so I don't know if you have suggestions or whatever. I don't know how to post, so I really haven't been posting anything except for about myself and my family and my kids.
Yeah, and that's really good. Less you say about your product, the best, but you'll start learning, more lead posting. What I can tell you that I do with my product is just a picture of it, and the less you say, the better. No websites, no company names, don't tell all. Just for me, there's a drink that we have, so I'll mix it up and I'll take a picture of it with me holding it and drinking it, and I'll just say drink life in.
Okay.
Get all your nutrition in one drink, and I just don't think anything else. So what you want to do with product post is you want to you want people to come and say, Suzanne, what are you holding there? What is that? How would that help me? Right? Then you can track the lead that way. So then you can say, oh, Monica just reached out, and you can start that process of following up, but you don't want to like post your website and things like that.
Okay. I didn't know how much we weren't supposed to do, so I haven't been doing really anything.
I'm always about less is best.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Sarah, you got a question?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should ask it here, but so other than the 5-to-1, is there any other income producing activities that I should be doing on my social media page? And since we're building solely online, are these the only things that we should be doing? I guess. Is that a good question? I don't know.
No, that is a good question, and it's a kind of a layering question. So where you're at and what you could be doing. So income, I call them money messages. Income producing activity online is your money messages. We have to learn to prioritize. Some of us work jobs, some of us have other businesses, we have family. We can't be hooked to our phone all the time. But when a message comes in about your product, your business, that is a money message. That takes priority. It comes over everything else. You have to learn what's a fire, what's got to be put out right now. Money messages are crucial because here someone reaches out to you to buy from you, and you're not prompt with your response. They don't trust you. You just lost trust with that client. So it's important to get back to people right away when they're inquiring about your product. Okay. Other things are like just content, getting content out there. The more content you can have, the better you are. And that includes all platforms. You got to be tweeting. You got to be on Insta. You got to be on Facebook. You got to be on YouTube. So you got to learn how to take data and put it places, but you're not doing the same data the same day. So just learning to take one video and saying this video goes up on Facebook today, next week, Thursday on YouTube, and 2 weeks on Insta. And learning that skill to me is income producing because you're hitting all markets and you're saving time because you're taking one video and popping it here and popping it there. And again, you're building content. So, and then yes, the 5-to-1. And if 5 is too much, do 3. 3-to-1, and that spacing out your post. That doesn't mean you go in and do 3 posts back to back. Nope, it means 9 o'clock, noon, 5. So you're spacing out your post as well. Yes. Did that help, Sarah?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I know that, but you guys are in week 3. There's, we're going to learn Facebook groups in week 4. Week 5 is events, and then we close out week 6 with YouTube and Facebook Live. So I don't expect y'all to be doing that stuff now. You're going to learn that in week 6. And then if you move on into more advanced training like this, you learn Periscope, you learn Twitter, you learn LinkedIn. And the Nest is rough and tough. It's highly intense. This class is kind of the foundation to that. So to answer your question too, Sarah, it's layers. Layers. The social media, there's a lot of functions. There's a whole class just dedicated to stories. Stories is just another feature within Facebook and Instagram. That's a 12-week class. Layers of learning, okay? So again, that's where that law of patience comes in.
I do have one more quick question, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
On the 5-to-1, does that count for our feed as well as our stories, or is that because can we do 5-to-1 in our stories and 5-to-1 in our feed the same day?
Yes, and you can do a story that goes on your feed.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you do that?
Oh, I would do that.
How do you do a story on your feed?
So when you instead of clicking just add story, and I'm doing it like I'm on the phone, you want to just do it from your post. Okay. So you write up a post, and then you're able to post and pop it on your story.
Okay, just share the post to your story?
Yes.
And that's something that's you can use the same content. It doesn't have to be different.
That's right.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm real big of keeping content authentic across platforms. For example, if I posted about a rainbow on Facebook, I'm not going to do that on Insta too, because I have a lot of the same followers both places, and people tune you out. They're like, I just seen that picture on Facebook. Why do I need to follow her on Instagram? Like, you want to be different in both places, so your following is like, ooh, I want to catch her over here. I want to see what she says over here. I mean, I do that. There's a lady that I buy a lot of my clothes from. I have to watch her on multi-platforms because she'll have different clothes on different ones. And some of the like better than Facebook. So she knows what she's doing because I'm hunting her down. You want people hunting you down for your content because it's so good, it's so inspiring, or it's so motivational, or I really want to, they're checking you out, believe me. They are watching. You put that content out, they're watching. So you want just to have different things going up on different platforms. But stories are different. You can have something on your feed that's in your story. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, one other thing I'd like to share, because we are recording, I'm actually going to put this in the Art of Social Media. Breakthrough, the next Breakthrough class will be in August. The next Social Media class will be in August. The Nest will start in August. If you're thinking about stories, and by the way, I can give anybody details who's looking for this information, that starts every Monday. So there's no kind of monthly date on that. We just start every Monday, new people. My mini inner circle, there are a few openings left that start in July. Thank you, Sarah, for just joining that. I have a mini with a breakthrough promo, and also a mini, if you've had the breakthrough, I have a mini that has an extra month. So both are promotional for the month of July only. That will expire. And our 4 agreements class will start in September. So since we were recording tonight, I just want to share that, as this will go in the Art of Social Media. I will stop recording 1 second.